It's clear from what we've seen so far in this section that social connections are important contributors to happiness. The more we connect with people in our lives, the happier we are. But is this what we always assume? Are there times when you might actually avoid connecting to other people because you think it's going to make you less happy? Well, imagine that you're taking the train to work, and a stranger sits down beside you. Do you think that you'll have a happier, more pleasant commute if you decide to work, read, or play a game on your phone by yourself, or if you decide to strike up a conversation with this stranger? Most people think that their commute will go more smoothly if they just keep to themselves and do their own thing. We tend to think that striking up a conversation is just going to waste time, and we'll be frustrated that we gave up our precious time in order to small talk with a stranger. I know that I think that. In fact, this is actually what researchers found when they polled people at a big train station. When they asked a bunch of commuters, they found that these commuters tended to think that talking to a stranger would make the ride less pleasant than keeping to themselves. So are we right? Are we really better off sitting in solitude under these conditions? Well, not exactly. The same researchers designed an interesting experiment. They went up to a bunch of people in the train station and asked them if they'd participate in a simple study. If they agreed, they asked these commuters to ride the train that morning in one of three ways. Some people were asked to make a connection with a stranger on the train. Some people were asked to sit in solitude on the train, and the rest were told to ride the train as they always do. Everyone was given an envelope with a short survey inside that they were supposed to complete when they reached their destination. The survey asked questions about how they were feeling and how pleasant their ride was, and the commuters completed the survey and mailed it back to the researchers once they got off the train. So, does connecting with strangers really work? First, let's look specifically at what this group of people was asked to do. Here were the exact instructions. Please have a conversation with a new person on the train today. Try to make a connection. Find out something interesting about him or her, and tell them something about you. The longer the conversation, the better. Your goal is to try to get to know your community neighbor this morning. Contrary to what people expected, these people on the train had significantly more positive experiences when they were asked to form a connection with a stranger on their commute that morning, compared to when they kept to themselves. Not only did talking to a stranger and striking up a conversation make them feel as though they had a more pleasant commute, but they also felt more happy overall. And importantly, they didn't feel like they were any less productive than the people who were keeping to themselves during their commute. The lesson here is to have what some people call social snacks. Form social connections during times when you otherwise might not. Get to know other people in the world, even if it won't turn into long-term friendships or relationships. By finding little moments to connect with people around you, even though you're not going to think it's going to matter, you may actually find yourself leading a happier, more positive life.